Hello, hello. What's up, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. And we have a pretty interesting live stream today, if I might say so. So, as usual, if anyone's in the live chat, could you let me know if everything is good, if the sound is good, quality is good, and of course, if I am indeed live, so you can get right into it. Should be live, right? Yeah, we are. So, seems like we're not gonna get a live chat today, but that's not going to stop me. Okay, so I guess I'll get right into it, and what we'll do is, as usual, I'll dive into my analysis on Bitcoin and altcoins, and I think I even want to cover the stock market because I think the scenario is pretty clear there. And then if you have any questions, leave them in the live chat. And then after that, I'll open the live chat. If you have questions, I'll answer them, and if you don't, we'll just end the live stream. Okay, so let's get right into it. First of all, as usual, I just want to recap what happened on this entire move, just to give you a bit of context. And what happened overall was actually very nice because this was the scenario that I was looking for a while, and that I outlined in my last live stream, so last Sunday. As you can see, I mean, it's been a while that I outlined this plan, but I wanted to see that last move up towards $89,000, get that big bull trap, and then a reversal to the downside and a break back below $76,000. So this scenario was outlined. I think if I go back to the charts, that's when I did my first YouTube update talking about that scenario. So a move up, a bull trap, and then a reversal lower. Took a bit longer to play out than I expected, and also unfortunately price did front run my resistance, which was super unfortunate. I missed a short, but I did send in the Discord that we had a 4-hour imbalance at the highs. This was already a warning sign, and in the end this imbalance actually ended up offering the high for a pretty nice drop on Bitcoin of 8%. Okay, so that's a pretty big drop. If anyone was smarter than me and shorted this imbalance, I mean, it would have offered great returns, but overall the plan again played out very well. I wanted to see that last rise for a bull trap and then a reversal lower. Not the best week for me. I took two small losses, but it's fine. I got pretty big longs out of this range into $86,000. So trading wise, I'm not too mad, but analysis wise, I will say I'm a bit more disappointed simply because the plan was outlined so nicely, everything was going to plan, but we just front on my level by, I think, less than 1%. Yeah, less than 1%. So pretty disappointing, honestly. But that's pretty much what happened, okay? We wanted to see the bounce. We were super bullish inside of this range. Again, I personally opened many longs. I closed them on this rise. And last week's live stream, I wanted to see that rise to short the highs and then reverse lower, and that's pretty much what happened. So with that said, this week we should have, as I said at the start, a pretty interesting scenario to build out. Personally, I don't think that this is a strong low, so probably price will come back down below it, and I am looking for price to break this low at $81,000. So overall, I would look for a drop back towards this low. Plus, if you take the volume profile, I think we had the value area low. Yes, as you can see, we do have the value area low around this low. So could we start to form a plan where we see a fake out below that low and then reversal higher? I will cover what I'm looking at, but overall, just be aware of this. I don't love this low, and I think that we will take out $81,000. So with that said, has my bias changed? And am I still high time frame bearish and expecting a break back below $76,000 to fill that weekly imbalance at $68,000 to $69,000? And the short answer would be yes. I don't see any reason to expect lower prices. Plus, right now, if we go on the daily chart, as you can see, we have a daily imbalance right there, which is going to act as resistance and also is a pretty bearish sign. So while I combine everything that I'm seeing, again, it just doesn't make sense to expect a high time frame bottom at 76.6. even though I was super bullish inside of this range, again, my bias has not really changed. So can I build a scenario looking at this? I think what I want to do, just let me look at this quickly. Let's go on the 1 hour. Okay, we have that. Just want to go on Binance for a bit, because I had drawn out this trend line. I think it was on the 12 hour. As you can see, we have this decent trend line that I think could get retested one more time before we see a drop lower. So if you guys are interested in this trend line, it's on the 12 hour, connect this high to this high pretty much, and you will get this. As you can see, it was front run there, which was also a reason why I was expecting $89,000. I would have loved to see, for example, a fake out above that trend line and then a dump lower. Unfortunately, it did not happen, but keep this in mind. So my plan for this week, I think I want to base it around the tariffs that will be announced on the 2nd of April, and I believe that this will be a buy the news event in this case. So anytime you have bullish news coming out, it's a sell the news event. This time we have bearish news coming out. Everyone is talking about the tariffs. So will this be a buy the news event? I think this is what I want to focus on this week. So my plan, of course, it will depend on what price does tomorrow on Monday. But I think what I would love to see is a drop towards $79,000, $80,000, but I would look for price to take out this low, then reverse higher, maybe chop a bit around the highs, and then from there reverse lower and break $76,000. I think something like this. Maybe we get another sideways week, right? Maybe if we open the week there, we also close it somewhere around there. I think that would be my preferred plan for that week. If we drop on the 1 hour, I can outline a super interesting area that I would like to see revisited. That would be above these highs. We have this imbalance, $85,600. For now, probably this will be the resistance that I want to look at this week. If you can reclaim it, this would be pretty bullish, and then we could expect a break back above $88,000. But for now, I think that just thinking about market sentiment, the news, everything that I can think of, and also as well, by the way, you will have new quarterly pivots coming out in 2 days. This will be super important. Why has this? Oh yeah. So we do have new quarterly pivots. That's the monthly. If I add the quarterly, this will be extremely important for my plan. But quarterly pivot, we have a new one coming in on the 1st of April, so in 2 days pretty much. Okay, so depending on where this appears, I think it should appear around $85,000, which would pair up nicely with that plan. So a drop at the start of the week, get everyone bullish before the tariff news, pump into the news, turn everyone bullish one last time, and then drop hard to break back below $76,000. Okay. And just keep in mind, I will update you inside the Discord. We have new quarterly pivots coming out in 2 days, as well as monthly pivots, but the quarterly are much more important. So I think that this would be my scenario on Bitcoin. I don't want to dive deeper into it right now because I will say this one is a bit harder to predict than usual, right? I mean, the first live that we did, we gave you the anchored VWAP, which offered a massive drop. Our second live, we gave you $80,000, which also gave a very nice bounce to the upside. That was a 5% bounce, I think. Yeah, 5%. And in our last live, I wanted to see higher prices, which we did want to see. So can we get one more time a decent prediction, right? That would be my plan for now. Drop on Monday, maybe even consolidate near the lows on Tuesday, reverse higher, maybe even close the week somewhere around $83,000, and then next week we could see that drop lower. Okay, so that would be my plan on Bitcoin. Again, as I said, I don't think I want to look at anything else at this point. If I see new data tomorrow, I will update you inside the Discord. So let me just hide this and this. Ethereum, again, same thing on Ethereum. I wanted to see that last move up to then dump lower, and it just front on my level by, I think, like 1%. Yeah, 1% front on my level, and we got that reversal. Again, exactly what I wanted to see, but it just front on my levels. It's really annoying. Ethereum, I think, honestly, it could bounce here somewhere around these lows. So maybe put in a higher low first, bounce towards this imbalance, and then reverse to the downside. I think something like this on Ethereum would be interesting. Overall, my target does remain towards 1550 to 1650. So that would be Ethereum pretty quickly. I don't see any important low at the moment. And again, scenario, even though we didn't reach my resistance, it's still playing out pretty well. I want to see a rise to then see a reversal lower and a break back below this low, but at this point I would like to see one last bounce and then a reversal lower. Binance, it's been hitting that major resistance, which is that was a partially filled 4-hour imbalance. As you can see, pretty big resistance on the 12-hour. We had two imbalances at the highs, and you can see offered a very nice reversal. So Binance Coin, I think probably same thing. Maybe bounce, drop, bounce, and then continue lower on Binance Coin. Pretty bullish coin overall, but I think it could drop a bit more. That's what I would look for on Binance Coin. Solana, I don't see much on Solana, even though I did give someone in the Discord the value area high as a resistance. As you can see, value area high with an imbalance, and then we dump lower. But overall, remember the context on all coins. We have a lot of double bottoms to clean up. Ethereum, that's Solana, sorry, we have a double bottom. Probably will get cleaned up and we will push lower. Ethereum, we also have a double bottom, right? If you take this low right there. So if I just zoom in to show you, we have that low, which was small range, but still an important low in my opinion, which also got front run with that low. So maybe bounce, just like Bitcoin, bounce and then reverse lower. XRP, again, I had that resistance that was front run. You can see my alert didn't get triggered at all. I was looking for a bounce into that resistance for a short and a drop back lower. And yeah, that's honestly, guys, that's pretty much it overall. Very unfortunate week, even though the plan played out pretty well. My resistances got front run on pretty much every single coin except Binance, but I wasn't even trading that, so I'm not even gonna claim this. No, that's Ethereum. I thought that was Bitcoin for a sec. Is Bitcoin, yeah, still above that low. I will cover the stock market quickly because I have been keeping an eye on this. So last week we did hit an important support, which was liquidity on an imbalance. Okay, so that was my support on the stock market. I wanted to see a rise towards 21.2, right? We had an order block, an imbalance, even was daily imbalance, and we had this high. I mean, I had good reasons to expect a bit higher on the stock market, so maybe something like this to then reverse lower. Again, unfortunately, did not happen. Probably what right now what the stock market wants to do is take out that low, right? So we have quite a way to drop on the stock market. How much would that be? Yeah, 6% at least. So stock market, maybe put in a fake higher low, trap more people, reverse lower, and then bounce up for a decent rally. I think that's possible. If I just draw it out a bit better, something like this on the stock market I think could be interesting. And that would also pair up with Bitcoin to get that drop at the start of the week, a bounce, trap some people, reverse lower, and then bounce higher. The bounce on Bitcoin, of course, you would look at our big area around the low 70s to the high 60s. That would be my area on Bitcoin. So on the higher time frames, it would look something like this. boom, and then maybe from there we can see a decent bounce to the upside. Okay, so that was mainly it for my analysis. Pretty simple. Again, we dropped, we have an imbalance. That's a very bearish sign. Overall, the plan has been predicted quite nicely, except that my resistance got front run. But again, I was super bullish during 2 weeks, wanted to see a move higher towards $89,000 for a bull trap to then see a big dump on the charts. This happened, and yeah. So, pretty quick analysis today, I think. And of course, reminder one last time, keep an eye on the quarterly pivots in 2 days. For the people in the Discord, I will update you. So, do you have... Oh, hello Jean-Pierre, hello Nicolas, hello Savas. It's nice to see you guys. I felt a bit lonely on that stream at the start. So you would like ETH? Yeah, I gave you an analysis on ETH. We can dive a bit deeper into it if you want to, but I think it lines up pretty well with Bitcoin. The only thing that I don't like is that this low is a bit too deep. So we have to bounce now if we want to follow that plan that I'm outlining. Or maybe on the other hand, do we initially put in a failed auction below that low? So if it follows Bitcoin, you drop tomorrow, right? Take out that low and then reverse higher. I wouldn't love that plan because I just want to trap more people, right? So I think this trade would be a bit easy. Could happen, of course, just keep an eye on that low in that case. But personally, I really want to see a bounce, keep that higher low, and then reverse lower. And we have this imbalance. Nice voice crack. We have this imbalance which could act as resistance. 12-hour imbalance. Daily imbalance as well, pretty important. And hourly imbalance as well. So this area is going to be massive resistance, both on Ethereum and Bitcoin, not only on Ethereum, which is why I want to remain bearish overall. And again, the altcoins, we have too many double bottoms that will get cleaned up in my opinion. Reminder on the total too, actually, I wanted to talk about this. This was my support that got front run by pretty much nothing, but I would like to see that support reached. So at least one more low on the total too. And then we can see if we get some sort of a bounce. Okay, guys. Any more questions? I wasn't able to join sooner. It's nice to see you, as always. One of my favorite people inside the Discord. DAX. Oh yeah, you did ask me about DAX and the German exchange. I didn't expect it to be so bullish. Wow. Oh frick. Wow, that's pretty. Is this even? Why did the time frame not change? You don't get 12 hours? Something's weird. Okay. Seems to be very lightly traded. Can I find a bit more volume? Would that be the same thing? No, that's even worse. Okay, so let me look at the DAX for you. Okay, so you can see you already have volume and efficiency right there. You have and a gap as well on the daily. So this would be a first support to look at. Plus you have a double bottom. So this would be a first support to look at on the DAX. If you lose it, I don't know why the 12-hour isn't working on it. That's really annoying me. But I think this would be a first important level on the DAX 22.1. If we lose it, and of course, I think overall I will get back into this, don't worry. But I think overall it will depend on what the stock market does, as I expect this, right? A further drop and then probably a relief rally. I think at some point we will get a decent bounce in the stock market. I would expect something like this with the DAX. Okay, so let's keep it simple. Okay, so this would be my first support. Lose it, probably you get another drop. How much would that be to the value area high? Another drop of 2% to the value area high. If you lose the value area high, this would be a pretty bearish sign. Of course, just be aware of that gap. So I think this would be your major resistance on the DAX. I think I can remove this now. Be this area, I think, right? Somewhere around that gap. Can remove this. So I'm not too much into German equity, so I don't want to make too like wild predictions, but I think on the DAX something like this could look nice as well. So maybe drop, get a small bounce, drop lower, get a bigger bounce, and then we can see what happens if it decides to continue lower, or would that be a major low to continue higher. But this has been a pretty extended uptrend. That's what you have to realize. I mean, I don't see much market structure. We have a lot of gaps. We don't have many imbalances to look at. And just, I think that would be my plan for now on the DAX. And I just want to look at this as well, actually. So the point of control is near the lows, which is a bit more bullish, but you can see like the volume is so weird on this. Look at all of this. Like this is not what you want to see when you do technical analysis. I would like to see a bit more volume. And then is that good enough, Jean-Pierre? I think that's good enough for the DAX for now. We will come back to it next week just to see if I got the analysis right. I'm quite interested to see if I can get the German exchange analysis right. Never looked at it. And then AEX. This traded a bit better. Come on. Don't even have volume on the higher time frames. This doesn't work. What the frick? So I cannot pull volume profiles on AEX? That's weird. Okay. So I don't think I can make a super accurate prediction on the AEX. Honestly, like I can't even look at volume, right? I can't even take volume profiles. Anchored VWAP. Not even that. We can't even take an anchored VWAP. Yeah, man, I don't know about the AEX. Do you have like a better way to look at it? Because I'm not able to read volume, which is super important to me. I mean, that's my whole strategy. It's volume. Yeah, honestly, for the EX is going to be hard for me. I'm sorry. I don't want to make any stupid predictions just to do it, right? I mean, if I just don't see it, I don't see it. So the DAX, I think that looks nice for now. You can't ignore that last part, you know, this drop, but I think for now, drop into this gap. I think I had an imbalance there as well, and a double bottom. So drop into this, you get a first bounce, continue lower into this gap, major value area high. Then from there you could see a bigger bounce, and of course then we can see, is this a strong bounce? How's the sentiment? How's the American stock market? How's the Nasdaq? And then we can see, do we still expect lower? In which case probably this will do this, or if it's more bullish, then of course you would expect a retracement and then a continuation higher for new all-time highs. So instead of getting that last part down, you would get something like this to move higher, right? Reclaim the range low, retest it, and then move higher. So that would be a quick analysis on the DAX, the AEX. I just don't have any volume data on it to be able to analyze it. Right? Yeah, I don't know. But if this helps you at all, I think this looks pretty nice on the stock market. I think something like this will play out. Take out this low, keep a higher low for now. So keep a higher low with that one, higher low, and then get a relief rally. Yeah, that was a pretty disappointing bounce though. Honestly, super good support. You can see, by the way, imbalances even work on the stock market. And this reminds me, I did want to look at the yen. Where's the yen? Right there. And look at this, guys. Is it a coincidence that the yen has moved up pretty nicely when the risk markets like the stock and Bitcoin dropped? I don't think it's a coincidence. But you can see, by the way, even on the yen imbalance, you fill it and you continue higher. So even on the yen imbalances, give you pretty strong levels to, I guess, not trade because I don't trade the yen, but to look at. And if the yen continues higher, it's going to be a problem for Bitcoin, for the stock market, and for risk assets overall. So this has been that high, by the way, which you can see resistance, resistance, support, support. So if it now flips into resistance, so we actually reject from here, this would be a pretty good sign for risk assets like Bitcoin, of course. But if you now reclaim that level, we're gonna have a problem, and I think this would reinforce my bearish bias on Bitcoin. But you can see again this area, this level, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance. So you can see this has been respected very well. Again, if it's able to move higher, we're gonna have a problem for Bitcoin, and I would heavily expect $70,000. Okay. Don't mind, thank you for the DAX. You're always welcome. Last week I asked about your trading journey. If you like to continue, if you can continue on that story. Well, let's do that actually, since probably reject at the start of the week so BTC moves up. Probably reject at the start of the week so BTC moves up, and then reclaim for BTC to go lower the following week. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I said, right, Nicholas? Okay, so a quick update, by the way, since you asked me about this Vesper. I just want to update you guys on the track record that's publicly available on our website. We are approaching 100 setups shared, and you can see, I mean, everything is public. You have the Discord messages, you have the trade, you have the charts before that I shared, and the charts after. We are now approaching 100 trades, so we have 74 setups, a 70% win rate, and average winner 4.1%, almost. Average loser pretty much 0.7%. So you can see right now I'm pretty proud about this. We have a 70% win rate with pretty much a 6-to-1 RRR. So I will try to get the win rate a bit closer to 80%, but I would love to see where this ends up when we get towards 100 trades. And actually I have one more to update. Or would it be two more? I think it would be two more, not one more. Yeah, so I took 2 trades this week, right? Yeah, I took, so pretty much you can add 2 losses for now. It would be 76 setups, 21 losses, and 45 wins. So I don't know, this would put the win rate maybe closer to 67%, but still, I mean, around 70% with a 6-to-1 RRR. I am pretty happy about that. And I will keep on updating this at the end of every month. So Back to the charts, live chat. About my trading journey. Okay, so honestly, I think I think I want to cover one main point, which was my biggest struggle as a trader, and I think still is my biggest flaw as a trader, much less than before, but still sometimes I can get impatient. And this is I think this will be an important tip because this is the biggest mistake, in my opinion, from all of the traders that I've met. It's the biggest mistake that people fall into, and that would be simply not being able to be patient, not waiting for good setups, not knowing what they're looking at next. So I do see this also sometimes inside the Discord, I'll be honest. It's not to attack you guys or anything, but it's just a quick reminder on sometimes like don't like try to stick with a plan and just not flip-flop around too much. So what I'm talking about is I know a lot of people that when they see a job, for example, and they're bullish and they see one green candle, they start to open long positions. And I saw this a lot on Twitter, which was actually pretty nice to see as the plan played out nicely. But if you guys remember, when Bitcoin broke below $94,000, I pretty much had one target for this entire job, which was $80,500. So it was right there. This was my target for that drop to the downside. And when I opened, and when and when I went on Twitter, I kept on seeing people trying to call a bottom right there. So you had this first bounce and people tried to call a bottom. You had a bit of a bigger bounce right there. Same thing. I saw a lot of people calling for a bottom. You had this again. A lot of people trying to call for a bottom. And they didn't really know what to look for next on the charts. But personally, as I wanted to see $80,500, you can look back at the Discord, by the way, and see that I'm not lying. During this entire downtrend, I told you that we would reach $80,500 as soon as we broke below $94,000. So, if I want to sum up my trading journey, it would simply be that honestly, let's go back on the website. I was not able to wait for my setups, even before I had decent setups, I was simply not able to wait for them, because what you have to realize is that this 74 setups, I think they've been given over the course of like 6 months maybe. So when you say 74 setups in 6 months, that would be what, 10 trades a month, maybe even less, something like this. Yeah, I think. I hope my math is mathing, but my style as a trader has always been that I want to wait for the best setups, and if I miss moves, I just miss them. I don't care. I'll wait for the next move and look for a new setup. But my biggest struggle was always, and I'll keep on repeating this, that I was simply not able to look at moves and just not take part in them. So for example, in that case, we have a very nice example that happened last week. So last week, what did I just do? Last week, remember, I wanted to see higher prices, okay? I was super bullish. I wanted to see a move towards $89,000. But what I would have done before, as I was bullish and was not able to open a long on a retracement because it simply didn't come, probably what I would have done is long somewhere inside of this move. And then, of course, I get a bit of profits in. I don't take profits, price reverses on me. I cut the losses right there. I take a small loss, and then I would just repeat the process over and over again. And honestly, I would say that in my trading journey, this has been my biggest struggle. I mean, it was always that I had huge problems in staying patient, and I would overtrade a lot, incur massive losses that I did not need to. I would increase my trading size, take even bigger losses, like lose nights of sleeps and and yeah, I don't know exactly how I can expand on this right now, but I will say it again. My biggest struggle was patience. It made me lose so much money. I still fall into these mistakes sometimes. I take trades that I shouldn't simply because I missed a move, or maybe I got the wrong level or whatever, but I get pissed off, I take a trade, I take a loss, and then I get reminded that, yeah, you know, you've learned your lesson and let's not repeat that. But my biggest struggle, again, I think that's what every single trader will go through, no exception, no matter who you are. It will be overtrading and not being able to remain patient and opening Twitter and seeing everyone saying that they long this low and you're not in a position, so now you're feeling FOMO because they're making money and you're not, and probably by the way they're not making money, they're lying, but you get FOMO, you enter a long ride there, you're now into losses, you don't know what to do, and you will keep on repeating this cycle. And to get a bit back to the win rate, that's why I will always share my losses. I mean, I will never be afraid to share my losses because I take losses. I take losses every week. I will have unprofitable weeks, but that's the way trading is. You have a lot of people on YouTube, on social medias, on Instagram, Twitter that never, and by never I really mean it, they never ever show their losses. Okay, they might be super wrong on the charts, and then if they take a loss, they never share it, and when they get one move right, they're like, see, I told you, I opened a trade. And this creates I realized that this creates a lot of FOMO. People not sharing losses, people being dishonest, people calling for lows and highs on every moves, people not knowing what to look for next, people always being super emotional, super hyped, calling for major crashes or major pumps or whatever. But it's always the same story in trading. It's people feeling FOMO, entering trades, losing money, and the cycle just repeats. Okay, so that's what I'll say on this for now. For now is that I struggled a lot with being patient and over trading. That this was by far, I mean, really by far my biggest struggle as a trader. And you will simply enjoy trading more when you take less trades. Okay, when you take less trades and you take bigger positions. Okay, just reduce the amount of trading. Of course, that's if you're a swing trader like I am. Sometimes I do take day trades, but I try, most of the time I try to take like a maximum of, I guess, on a good week I could take 5 trades maybe, right? I don't think I ever get above 7 trades a week, but usually I have a pretty low trading frequency, and I just wait for the good setup. So for example, right now, I told you that I want to see a drop tomorrow and then probably one last bounce to the upside to then see lower. If I wake up tomorrow and I see price up here, I won't feel FOMO and open a long up here, and then price dumps, I close the long, we see a bounce, I long up here, we get a retracement, I close it, we bounce, and so on and so on. Look, if price moves higher without me tomorrow, I mean, go for it, okay? I'll just wait for my next setup, for my next short to the upside. If we get a retracement that I like, I'll open a long. Whatever I want to do, I will just wait for it, okay? You take big positions while managing your risk, of course, and lower your frequency of trading, okay? That's the best tip that I can give you, even as a day trader. You have day traders that cannot control their emotions and open like 50 trades a day, and it's like, yeah, what are you doing, you know? So a bit of a rant on patience, but again, I'll say it one last time before I move on. Patience is the biggest downfall, in my opinion, of 95% of traders. It's going to be patience, okay? And even when people invest, I mean, how many people, investors I'm talking, not even traders, how many people bought Bitcoin above $100,000? I can tell you have millions and millions of people that bought Bitcoin above $100,000. Why? Because it's a major psychological level, and people see Bitcoin above that level, they get impatient, they're like, oh, I missed off on the move, and guess what? They bought at $100,000 and what, price dumped 30%? Yeah, 30%. So if you invested $100,000 somewhere near the highs, you would be down pretty much around $30,000 for absolutely no reason, for not being able to remain patient. I hope I haven't ranted too much. Da, 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 da. How did you get the skill to look at charts and make a plan that fast? Just thousands of hours in front of the charts. I I think that would be it. Thousands of hours in front of the charts. It's like anything in life, you know. If you want to be a good, I don't know, like a good golfer, even what you would do is train at golf. If you want to get good at reading the charts, what you will do is sit in front of the charts, study moves, backtest, journalize, and so on. So no one will ever open the charts and then in 3 months, for example, be super skillful and call every move and make money. This just doesn't happen, okay? It's not how trading works. You have to understand that trading is a job. It's a super hard job, mainly mentally. It's a very hard job mentally, but when you do succeed, the money that you can make is pretty much unlimited, right? I don't start dreaming right now and open massive trades, but this is the fact in trading. Like, very few people make it, but when you make it, what you will do is enter the markets whenever you want to, take a trade, make money, and walk away. But again, it just requires a lot of training, a lot of patience, and a lot of stamina, because I can tell you, for people that, for example, don't have good mentors or maybe learned everything on their own or whatever, it will take years, and by years I mean years, it will take years to become profitable. So it's mainly about stamina and how much your mental can support taking losses before you give up and you feel like an idiot, right? But if you can get through the shit, you will get to a point where you can make decent money, you can make a living, and yeah, you can build good plans as we've done. Again, everything is public, you know. We have wins, we have break evens, we have losses, but you can get to a point where you get big winners, small losers, and a decent win rate, and it's pretty much a probability game. So look here, so a quick example, look, that's a loss of 9%. What's this? Is that a win? Yeah. A win of 100% pretty much. So I need 10 of these losses, right? To equate, is that even a word? I don't know, but I need 10 of these losses to pretty much give back all of the profits that I've made on this trade. And when you take these trades, again, in my opinion, that's that's my view on the matter. But in my opinion, this will be a very good way to kind of get away from over trading. It's when you get these big wins and you're like, look, I don't want to give back my profits. I don't see the setup. I'm not gonna trade it, and I'm just going to do something else. So we are looking now for a retrace up to 85k and to short down to where? Savas, yes, I would say below 86. Again, my plan, if I add it back, that would be, what's this? And that's the first part, right? What's that? Oh, and that's the low. Okay. I'll keep this on my chart. So that, for now at least, you know, it's Sunday night. It could change tomorrow depending on how the week's open, but that would be my plan. Drop into what support? I'm not sure yet, okay? It could be that support, it could maybe even be below that low, so or somewhere around $78,000. But the plan for me for now would be a drop at the start of the week, pump, probably take out this high. We'll have to see again. Why do I have this? I don't know. So take out this high, and then from there, of course, if we get a good reaction, yes, I would look for a break back below $76,000, because again, my opinion, we will fill that weekly imbalance. I will talk about partially filled imbalances in the lessons. I'm working on them, by the way, and yeah, you know, you will understand why partially filled imbalances are so important. So right now, as we have this partially filled weekly imbalance, I do expect the fill of that candle at some point. Doesn't have to be now, you know, we could maybe get one last pump towards $90,000. I don't expect it, but if we do move higher first, it doesn't disengage, it's the wrong word, but it doesn't change my plan of coming back down below $76,000. Okay, so that would be the plan for now. If you go back on the hourly, okay, maybe 4 hour, that's a bit better. Drop, bump, drop. So a bit of a choppy week ahead. That's mainly what I'm looking at. So one more choppy week, just one more sideways week, and next week we nuke to the downside. And this week I might want to keep an eye on the stock market, okay? Because I'm I'm pretty confident in that scenario. That's what I want to say for now. I'm pretty confident that we drop, take out that low, and then we could see a relief rally. Of course, it depends on the reaction. If we get a straight drop to the downside, like we got here, then of course you would not expect the bounce at that point. But for now, this would be my expectations, and this would be nice to pair up with Bitcoin. How much was that drop actually? This would be nice for me to see quickly. So a 5% drop gave us, what was that? 7%. So if we drop another, let's say 7% in the stock market, I think this could give us a 20% drop on Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't think this is far-fetched. And then again, 70, let's say $67,000 to $69,000, we could see a nice bounce to the upside. This will be a very important support, by the way. Super important support. Okay. You know what? Let me keep it on the chart for now. It's the law of big numbers, basically. Yeah. If you're talking about trading strategies, it's always the law of big numbers, right? On a big enough sample size, if you have a profitable strategy, you will make money. You trade Nasdaq as well. Honestly, in recent times, I just took one trade on the Nasdaq, which was actually after the 5th of August, right? It's when we got that crash on the 5th of August, and remember that was because of the yen. I took a long somewhere down here, and I closed it pretty quickly, I think somewhere up here, but I can show you the logic behind it just to show you that imbalances work. Yeah, it was right there on the stock market as well. This is mainly what I wanted to see, right? We had these two imbalances. I just wanted to see price drop back into this imbalance and then reverse higher. I even think I had more confidence on the 15-minute, if I'm not wrong. Where was it? Oh, come on. Yeah, I can go back on the 15-minute. So 30-minute. Right there. Right there. Perfect. Yeah, you can see. So I just wanted price to drop back into this imbalance, and if I saw support offered, I wanted to open a long, which I did, and I closed it back above this high. But that's honestly the only trade that I've taken on the Nasdaq. So that was a long time ago. What was that, like freaking 6 months ago or something? Yeah, that was a pretty long time ago. But yeah, that was the last trade that I took on the Nasdaq. And you know what? If we get that drop and I like the reaction, maybe we'll open a long on the Nasdaq. I think I really like this scenario, honestly. I really like it, because now if you get the fill of that imbalance, this would be a pretty bearish sign, which is why, again, I will talk about imbalances fills versus midpoints versus the top of the imbalance in that case inside of our lessons, I should say, like when to look for the top of the imbalance, when to know when a fill of an imbalance is a bearish sign or not. So everything will be covered inside the lessons, but in this case, the fill of that imbalance would be a pretty bearish sign in my opinion, which is why I marked the top, plus we had liquidity, and you can see it offered a pretty nice bounce. So in hindsight, I could have traded it actually, you know, how much was that bounce, like 5%? 7% even better. Okay, Okay, so if you guys don't have any more questions, which I think you don't, I don't think you do. Okay, so how long have we been going for? Just about 50 minutes, and I'm pretty tired today, so I'm glad you guys joined me. And as usual, thank you all for the questions. But if you don't have any more questions, well, this will be the end of the live. Maybe analyze Ada. You know what actually reminded me on CRV? Where's CRV? Not that one. I want to look at CRV because it has been trading pretty well and I'm annoyed at myself for having missed. Guys, how easy was that trade? I'm not gonna say it was easy because I didn't take it, but I mean, you have the high into this imbalance, a double top, a 4-hour imbalance at the highs, two daily imbalances, which is extremely I mean, it's not super bearish on unless you get a reaction at the highs, but you can see, I mean, you had that imbalance, that super nice reaction. You had two daily imbalances to recover. Did we recover both of them? We did recover both of them. And I want to add CRV on my watch list because I want to start trading more altcoins. There it is. Let me add it. So I'll put it below link. I might start trading CRV. Man, what a rejection that was. We even had a 12 on, okay, no 12-hour imbalance, but 4-hour imbalance. And Binance Coin as well, like I'm missing these trades because I'm not looking at altcoins, but when you have two 12-hour imbalances at the highs, massively bearish, massive sign of weakness. Okay, so you want ADA. So I'll do ADA, and if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll end the stream. So if you have questions, send them in the live right now while I analyze ADA. Well, let's look at it on Binance. So it looks like I analyzed it before. I had it. Oh yeah, I do kind of remember. Okay. ADA. Okay, definitely have low right there. Did we take it out? No, we haven't. So you would look for ADA to take out that low. Short time frame analysis. Okay. Volume profile. Point of control right there. Looks pretty nice. We don't have any anchored VWAPs, do we? Could take it from that high. Yeah, that's too far away. You know, but if you trade ADA, just keep an eye on that anchored VWAP. Did this one get hit? No, it didn't. So I think this one is a bit more interesting if reached. Maybe against that order block, right? Right, I mean, price moves long, up, I mean, and the anchored VWAP drops a bit lower, but lower time frame analysis on ADA, probably what I want to look for is something around the lines of what I'm looking for on Ethereum. So take out the low, bounce, and I would like to see the fill of that imbalance. You have a nice point of control. So pretty much a bounce towards 0.73 to 0.73. This would be your target on ADA if you want to open a long. I think it will get reached fairly easily. Could be wrong, of course, but that's what I would look for. Drop, bounce into this imbalance, and then of course, if you break above the point of control and the imbalance, just be aware of that high. You could swing failure pattern that high, just like we did on CRV. So swing failure that high and then drop lower. So something like this on CRV. On ADA, I mean, sorry. Or of course, alternatively, you do reject that imbalance, which is in confluence with the point of control. And instead of taking that high, you just reverse right there and you put in high, lower high, lower high. So I think that would be it on ADA, right? You could expect a bounce soon. I would like for it to take out that low. If we don't, I don't think opening along just above that low is a great trade, except if you want to use lower leverage maybe. But then where is your stop loss below that low, right? Because it could drop, for example, until 0.62 and then reverse. So that's why longing here it's not too smart, in my opinion. So because you simply don't have a clear stop loss, right? You don't have a clear level of invalidation. And if your target is there, I mean, you're looking at a 1.5 to 1. It's not personally what I look for usually. Yeah. However, if you take that low and you get a reaction, then what you could open is something like this. So let's say you get a reaction there, you see the bounce, you open the long, stop loss below the low, and now you have a 7 to 1 RRR, which would be pretty nice. That would be it on ADA. Expect a move towards 0.773. That's what I would say for ADA. Okay. Okay, so if you guys don't have any more questions, let's go back to Bitcoin. I really like that scenario. Of course, we are getting a bit of a bounce right there. Let's see where it takes us tomorrow, right? I will say, of course, if we bounce first, that would be much more bearish because, as I said, I am expecting price to take out that low at $81,000. So if we bounce first tomorrow and we move a bit higher, then probably I would look for shorts around $85,600 if I like the reactions. So dropping first would be much more bullish, not a bit more bullish, much more bullish to look for that bounce into the bearish news when everyone will be bearish and scared. On the other hand, if we bounce tomorrow, again, I will update you inside the Discord, but this wouldn't be my main play. My main play, if we bounce first, we'll see tomorrow if I want to long a retracement or short a resistance or maybe not even do anything. But my main scenario, pretty confident in it. Drop, take out that low, bounce, okay, close the week maybe somewhere around the open, and then next week we can dump lower and break back below $76,000. If you don't get that drop, of course, I'm not going to open along here. Sunday night, I'm just not interested in trading, and I'm pretty tired as well. So with all of that said, thank you Nicolas and Jean-Pierre for the, I mean, I'm happy that you enjoyed the stream, so I only do it because you guys are here, so I guess thanks to you, I want to thank you guys. Yeah. So okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. For the people on the Discord, I will see you tomorrow. Not doing anything today, as I said. We'll see where I wake up tomorrow with price. That sounded like that wasn't even English, but we'll see tomorrow when I wake up where price will be at, and then of course I will update you yet again on the levels that I'm looking for and the potential updated scenario that I would look for. So see you tomorrow everyone, and I will wish you all a good night. Okay, and thank you all as usual for the questions. I really appreciate it, and I really like helping out if I can. So see you tomorrow.